The bear market has started. It is no news that I have been saying this on this page for a very long time. In fact, when Bitcoin was at $126,000, I kept saying sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off. You know, a whole lot of people were doubting me then because at that time the euphoria in the market was like the hype, everything was just, everything was just banging, boom, boom, boom. We're gonna go to 130,000. Oh my God, Bitcoin is going to 250,000. Some people were even saying $1 million. A whole lot of influencers were pushing that narrative. And there's something called crowd sentiment. So everybody was bullish. Fear and greed index was reading at the peak of greed. A lot of people are just buying non-stop. And I kept saying that, you have to sell off at 126. USDT.D is currently at a triple bottom, which is an indicator that USDT.D is going to start buying. And if USDT.D start buying, it simply means that a whole lot of traditional finance guys, they are not willing to invest in any other crypto asset at that moment. They want to convert their crypto to stables, which is obviously USDT.D and other stable coins, right? So, and a lot of people, they could not, see this because, people are emotional, they are so into that we're going to get rich quick, and that is another mentality that messes a whole lot of individuals up. So these traditional finance guys, big institutions, the banks, they are not doing this stuff with emotions. They are doing it with a lot of AI tools, a lot of professionals that has zero to nothing to do with emotions. But then on the retail side, the retailers are always very emotional, extremely emotional, and then a lot of them got burnt. But that is not the point of this video. Our major point today is DCA. DCA is an acronym for dollar cost averaging. In layman terminologies, dollar cost averaging is simply bringing out a budget, right? Let's say a $200 budget, and then assigning that budget to purchasing a particular asset. And this asset will not be bought at once, but instead this asset will be bought periodically with an exact amount of purchase at each given time. So let's say you have a $200 and you want to buy an asset, let's say Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin is currently at $124,000, and you don't know how to do technical analysis. You don't know the exact time that is the best time to buy or the exact time to sell, right? You can apply dollar cost averaging. And how do you do that? You say, okay, this $200, I will spend $20 buying Bitcoin for the next 10 months. And no matter the price Bitcoin is at each month, you will spend $20 on buying Bitcoin. So let's say Bitcoin then dumps from $124,000 down to $50 in the space of 10 months. You will then discover that on an average, you have spent obviously $200, but the exact price you bought Bitcoin, if you do the mathematics and the calculation, you discover that probably you bought Bitcoin at $70,000 on an average. But remember, you started buying Bitcoin from when it was $124,000. Or to be fair enough, let's say on an average, you bought Bitcoin at $80,000. Now, this is a smart way to invest in assets. And I think banks invest like this in assets. So this is going to be helpful. DCA will be extremely helpful to you this bear market. One thing I don't like to say, and one thing I don't encourage people to believe in, is to believe that you will know the top or you know the bottom. I don't think anybody has that superpower to know the top or the bottom. I called Bitcoin sales from 126,000 and Bitcoin started dumping from around 126,000, and currently we're at about $87,000, yeah? But that doesn't mean that tomorrow I'll come out and say I know the top and I know the bottom. No, I just use the indicator that USDT.D was showing me, and I'm like, yo, now is the best time to sell. And then again, it played out, right? But then that does not mean that I will say I know the top or I know the bottom. So my advice to you is, please, now that the bear market has started, right, a lot of coins will be dumping, and something might happen to you. And this is where DCA also is very important. Now, DCA is going to help you stay disciplined. Now, what might happen to you this period is that fear will cloud your judgment. And because of fear, you will not want to buy, because every day coins are dumping by, let's say, minus 10%, minus 5%, minus 20%. Some can even do minus 50% in a day. Then you become so scared to buy. You are now waiting for the bottom. You are patiently waiting for the bottom. Before you know it, you have missed buying these assets at a wonderful discount. all because of you are waiting, or you are waiting for the bottom, which obviously you don't know the bottom. Okay, so the best approach this bear market is, please, DCA. Set aside a budget for each asset that you want to invest in, each asset you believe in. It probably might be ETH, Solana, Bitcoin, or any other asset, right? You set aside budget for it, and then what you do is that each month, or each week, or each year, depending on your pattern, you invest using DCA. No matter the price the asset is at that moment, you know that you have set out, for an example, each month you'll be investing $1,000 in SOL. If SOL is at $130, you don't care, you invest your $1,000. The next month, if SOL is at $150, you don't care, you invest. The upper month, if SOL is at $80, you don't care, you invest. At the end of the day, you might see that you were the person that caught the bottom using DCA. And when the bulls come, you're going to make a whole lot of money from applying DCA. So I know a lot of you don't know about DCA. A lot of you don't know that DCA helps you to be disciplined in your investment and approach towards the market. And I know that a lot of you have never practiced DCA. So this is me telling you, do more research on DCA and try as much as possible to apply it this bear market. And hopefully you're going to make a whole lot of money. And of course, you're not going to regret it. And I don't know if you're going to come back to give me some money as thank you. But then, I wish you good luck. If you found this video helpful, kindly subscribe to this channel, smash the like button, turn on post notifications. See you in the next video.